What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out Driver Studio again today. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a crazy story about some 63 Chevys I had back in the past. So it all started right after my beautiful wife and I, who's holding the camera right now, we had just gotten married, and a good buddy of mine said, "Hey, I'm acquiring a 63 Impala. I was wondering if you could help me do some body work." Sure, of course. Let's work on it. So I figured it'd be fun, good way to make a little bit of side money, and just see what happens. We all like getting involved with a car project of some sort. So I started working on the car. After a month or so, we decided, you know what, with all this body work on here, let's see if we can find some new fenders for this 63 Impala. So the 63 Impala had already had a super crazy history and everything. It had a bunch of damage, and it was a relatively rust-free car, so we felt like it was a good platform to build off of. But nevertheless, it had a lot of body damage we needed to take care of. So we start surfing the internet, and we find a set of fenders. Now these fenders are connected to a 63 Bel Air station wagon. And the owner of the car, he says, I sell the whole car, but I really want to part it out. I think I'll make more money that way. And okay, so we load up in the truck and we decide we're going to go out and check out this 63 Bel Air wagon. Pull up. Gentleman's not home yet. He's going to be there. We're talking with him on the cell phone at the time, and he says, "I'll be there soon." So we decide we're going to take it upon ourselves and we're going to walk around the 63 wagon. So we walk around it. The owner of the Impala that I'm working on that needs the fenders for that car, he says, "I got to buy the car." I said, "I would recommend doing so." So he decides, when the guy gets here, I'm going to try my best to see if I can make a sweet deal, buy the car. Gentleman shows up. My buddy says, "Hey, I'd like to buy the whole car." A deal is struck. Lo and behold, we end up dragging the whole entire 63 Bel Air wagon home. Now, personally, I would say the 63 Bel Air wagon, I'm a wagon guy. I've had 5 or 6 of them now. I would think that the wagon was way cooler than the Impala, just because that's my taste. But this wagon was in fact cleaner than said Impala. So we decided to take the fenders off this 63 Bel Air wagon and put them onto the 63 Impala. Now, the 63 Impala, even though it was rust-free, did have some bubbling in one of the dog legs on, I believe, the driver's side front fender. But the passenger side fender was a repop fender. And the owner of the Impala wasn't that happy about that. So this is why we decided to start looking for these front fenders originally anyway. So we swapped the fenders out, and I continue working on this Impala, get it a certain ways down the road to make it right for him. And he decides, you know what? I want to do some work on the Bel Air wagon as well. I said, "Yeah, let's do it. That'd be cool. I'm willing to make some extra money on the side. I'm already at your house." So we decided to dive into this car. After maybe 2 or 3 weeks, he decides, I'm one too many projects deep right now. I'm going to sell the wagon. I said, hey, well, hold on. If you're going to sell this beautiful Bel Air wagon, and I've already done all this work to it, I said, why don't we trade? And at the time I had a 68 Chevy. So I trade. Some of you might disagree with this thought, but at the time I thought it was a good deal. So I traded my 307 automatic 2-speed on the column, Power Glide, one-legger Chevelle Malibu. I traded heads up for this 63 Bel Air wagon. So I proceed to slam the 63 Bel Air wagon on the ground, and I end up, the owner of the Impala, helped me swap the motor in the car, and we changed to a shifter on the floor and all these kinds of things, and get all this stuff done with it, and decided, you know what, it was always going to be a project. It was one of those things where I thought it was really cool at the time. Once again, like I've said in a previous video, I got starry-eyed, but it was a really cool car that I had to get. Got it, had fun with it for a while, ended up selling it. I think I made a couple dollars on the car. I didn't make much, if anything, but it was a fun car to say that I owned. I'm glad that I bought the car. And it's just one of those weird things that you never really know when you're buying and selling cars. Sometimes you go out thinking you're going to go buy some parts, and next thing you know, you end up buying a car. Sometimes you buy a car and you find out it's a bigger project than what I thought. I need to buy another car just to get this car done. So one of those things to think about. It's fun, but if you're not necessarily a car enthusiast, you might want to steer clear of those really big projects. But sometimes it is fun. It's a culture that we're into, and it's a lot of fun to play with those cars and make memories and later on down the road, you don't know where you're going to be at, and you can tell somebody the story about it, and they say, oh man, I had a 63 Bel Air Wagon as well. I love those cars. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the story. Just wanted to let you guys know about it and share it with you. I'll see you next time. Driver Studio. Later.